All right, here we go. All right, so I got a problem. My problem is with financial influencers, people that make a lot of money, people that are rich, people that are successful, people that have a massive social influence on the likes of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And I'm gonna talk about it today because I recently watched a video from VCon, which is Gary Vaynerchuk's newest and best conference that he has created for VFriends, which is an NFT platform that is going to bring the world together and we're all gonna have peace and happiness because it's NFTs. I'm gonna talk about something today, and that is the thing that I have a problem with these financial influencers. And I'm gonna get a lot of people commenting because they are fans of these people and these people help change their life. And this is what my problem is with all of these individuals. And not all of them, I shouldn't say all of them, I should say most of them. And that is as they become successful, as they have lots and lots of money and they don't no longer need to work really hard and they start speaking more, they start focusing on social media, they start making videos. Guess what? They start forgetting what got them there was not being happy. It was not doing things that make them happy. It was not having work-life balance. It was about grinding their face off and working their brains out, working until they're bleeding out of their eyeballs, working 24/7. That is what got them there. And so this is what makes me sick, is now we're getting this new breed of entrepreneurs that have been listening to people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who I listened to VCon's recap and all I hear was happiness. It's all about happiness and just be happy. I get it. I want people to be happy too. But the people that are listening, the reason they're listening to you is because they want what you have. And the reason you have what you have is because you worked your brains out for 15 years and did what no one else was willing to do. And so what's happening now is these influencers are saying the way to become successful is to have work-life balance, is to not work on the weekends, is to be happy. If you don't like your job, just quit it. But what got them to where they're at today, what got them to having millions of dollars, being on stages, having massive amounts of social influence, being able to afford the videographers and the graphic designers that make their social media incredible, that we all follow and look after them, the reason that they got there is because they did the exact opposite of what they're telling everyone else to do, and that is be happy. And if you're not happy at your job and you're just feeling overworked, just leave. Just go start your own thing. Just go start doing something on the side. And what got them to where they're at today is not that. What they should be saying is, if you want to have money, and wealth and power and position and building a massive business is the thing that you want, you're gonna have to do what I did, and that is work 10, 15, 20 years and work crazy hard for hardly any return and be laughed at because everyone else thinks you should have just gone and become a doctor or a lawyer or something else, and you're gonna have to go through all of that, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll get the money that I have as I'm standing here on stage talking to you. That's what they should be saying. And so what drives me nuts is that people like Bill Gates and all the rest of it, Jeff Bezos, they may have all this money now. And when they stand in front of young people, they tell them about finding something that you're passionate about. Find something that you love. And honestly, it's just sickening because entrepreneurship is not about that. Entrepreneurship, the first 3 to 5 years is losing money while you're working crazy hours doing something you do not enjoy. Because guess what? If you're starting a business, you're doing 100 different things. And guess what? There's gonna be something of those 100 different things that you don't enjoy doing. But you do it because you love the game and you love the journey and you're wanting to get to a certain destination and you have goals. And guess what? All these young people listening to these great rich people that they look up to and aspire to be like, they also have the same goals that those people, they want to become them. And what they're being told is you need to find something you love to do. But what's gonna happen when Susie and Billy start a job working as a baseline engineer and they run up against something they don't enjoy doing, that doesn't make their heart sing? Guess what they're gonna do? They're going to give up, or they're gonna live in depression and they're gonna be hard on themselves because they don't feel like they fit in when they just have been told the wrong information, and that is entrepreneurship is somehow like this freedom and do your own thing and get out of your 9 to 5. It's a bunch of garbage. The first 3, 5, 10 years in business is the worst years of your business life. It's horrible. And so if we're training young people, and if we're telling young people that the way to become successful and have what these great icons of business have is to do something that we love to do, and if it's not something we love to do, we should just quit and go find something else. That's what leads to the shiny object syndrome. That is, someone starts a business and oh, well, it just didn't work out. I'll go start this. And well, I didn't really enjoy that part of it. I did this. I got a few employees, didn't really enjoy dealing with employees and all their problems. So I went back and did solo. People just go for one thing, the next, and they never spend the 5, 10, 15, 20 years that it takes to grind your face off. And the one person that I really look up to is Elon Musk, who still to this day will say that to everyone's face. Like, he says a quote, something like entrepreneurship is like staring into the abyss and chewing on shards of glass or something like that, because that's what it is. And if you look at all these icons that now stand on stage and talk about having work-life balance, none of them had work-life balance for 10, 15, 20 years and were the laughing stock of their family, of their industry, and were ridiculed by Wall Street and lost tons of money, and people doubted them, and they worked their brains out to get to the point where they're at today. And because now everyone looks up to them, the politically correct thing is to say now is don't work too hard on the weekend. If you don't love your job, go do something that you love. If your family disagrees, forget them. Go leave them. Like, no one wants to just bear with the facts, and that is that every one of those people is doing exactly the opposite of what they're telling everyone to do. And that's going to lead to a lot of disillusioned entrepreneurs that will keep quitting on their side hustle. Their side hustle will never become a full-time hustle because it doesn't take 2 or 3 or 4 years to build a great business. It takes decades to build a great business. This is why last year I was freaking out about NFTs and meme stocks and all these people making money, and I tried to throw a warning out like, what goes up really fast is going to come down really fast. What builds a great business is not because the stock market went up 300%. It's not because someone made some NFT and it just tripled in value. It doesn't work like that. Anything great takes time to build. Rome was not built in a day. Nothing great comes up overnight. It takes years and years and years and years of hard work to make something that actually is worth looking at. We aspire to be, that we want to be like, and that's what these icons of business have become, and now they're turning around and ridiculing and pushing down the very thing that created and honed the craft, the skill, the business, and built what they're now standing on is what they're telling other people not to do. I think it's sickening. And let me just conclude with this thought, because recently there's been 2 comments in my comment section. I don't read all the comments, but I saw these 2, so there's probably others, about how I look like I'm half asleep, look like I'm drugged, looks like I'm hangover. Yeah, I don't get a lot of sleep, but this is the difference between my channel and everyone else's channel when it comes to social media. I don't have a big following, because guess what? I'm in the first inning. I'm doing what they all did 10, 15 years ago. And the reason I make these videos and show my struggles and the things I'm working on and things I'm not great at, the mistakes that I'm making, because I'm showing the first, second, third inning of a game that right now people are looking up to people in their 8th and 9th inning of business. They're in their 50s, their 60s, and they're crushing it. They're making billions of dollars, and they're telling everyone else to not work hard, to just focus on sleep. Sleep is important. Sleep is important. Obviously, we need to get sleep. You got to. But if you have a goal that's worth fighting for and worth not having sleep over, you're gonna be tired. And if I'm gonna make videos at 2 in the morning to be able to record and to be able to document this journey of the first, second, and third inning, because I want to prove that when I get to the 9th inning, guess what? I sure hope in the world I'm not telling people that they should just take it easy. In your first few years of business, make sure you get 8 or 9 hours of sleep. No, if you're not feeling well, don't work that day. Because guess what? They won't get to the stage of business that I will be at, because it takes that. It is the groundwork, the foundation of a great business is sacrificing for that future. And if you're like, well, you should be sacrificing for money. Well, then that's obviously not your goals. So you should sleep in all weekend. You should take it really easy. You should go on 4 vacations a year. And if you don't have a little cough, you shouldn't go into work. But if you have goals and ambitions to build $1 billion business, and you look up to someone like a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Grant Cardone or a Jeff Bezos or someone who's changed their industry, you better believe they put in decades of hard work, and they sacrificed their sleep, they sacrificed their family time, they sacrificed their health in order to get that towards that goal. And if you want that, you better believe it's going to take the same ingredients.